Ladies and gentlemen, my review of the Kove 450 Rally on its own cannot be trusted. This is the internet after all. People spout utter badger dung all the time. And as just another voice on the internet, you don't know me, and I shouldn't be trusted unless vetted.
In Corinthians, Paul states, "In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established." But even when you add in the review from Justin Dawes, the executive editor for Cycle World magazine, who, after reviewing the Kove 450 Rally, also pre-ordered one for himself, it's still not a sure bet because he may be seeking to sell ad space to Kove in his magazine.
So when you see a review, whether it be for motorcycles or mandolins, it's always prudent to question the reviewer.
Do they somewhat jive with what other reviewers are saying, or are they way out in left field? And is that because they're being honest, or because they just are struggling to be different?
And most importantly, what's their motivation? Whether reviewing positive or negative, what's in it for them? For me, my motivation is twofold. First, I really do believe that this is the dual sport that dual sport fans like me have been waiting for decades. The more people who ride, the more fans I have, the more people come to my rallies, the better I can support my family, and the more this hobby beats back the onslaught of tablets, electric scooters, and TikTok weirdness. Secondly, if you buy a Kove 450 Rally using my link, I do get $270, which is awesome. And since the motorcycle is now released and no longer needs to be pre-ordered, you will also get $200 off your purchase price. So we'll have a coupon code soon, but until then, just mention that you used my link when you buy it, and I'm sure GPX will get you taken care of.
That is an absolute win-win, but even though I'm upfront with you about how much I make and my motivations, it's important to challenge the validity of the review by challenging the validity of the reviewer. And that includes me.
Now, when I reviewed the Kove 450 Rally back in February of 2023, I absolutely raved about it. And as the months have passed and we've waited and waited for its release here in the United States, I have been terrified. My whole business revolves around trust with you, my beloved ladies and gentle-tubers. Without trust, producer contributions are gone, affiliate recommendations are ignored, and the rally bookings go to zero.
Imagine staking your entire business, your entire reputation, literally the food in your kids' mouths, on a Chinese motorcycle that you spent just a mere week testing. What if they changed something to production? What if the demo was a one-off and the production models were garbage? What if I skewed the review with a subconscious bias? Or what if I was just plain wrong?
Over the months, I've lurked around the internet forums, videos, comment sections, and Facebook groups, usually incognito, agonizing as I've seen my reputation hang by a thread in the hands of a previously unheard of Chinese company. I was petrified. I found a lot of interesting takes on my take. The bottom line, some people trust me, some people think I'm a shill who manipulates emotions by feigning mental illness. Some people think the bike will be great, other people think it will be more Chinese junk. And honestly, if I watched my own review not knowing what I know, I would be really skeptical. And I'm shocked that anybody actually pre-ordered the Kove besides those who wrote it. Either way, it was horrifying.
I've been running from these rituals, they're haunting me. Can't get up. I've been running from these rituals, they're haunting me.
And when spending motorcycle amounts of money, it's always wise to get a second, third, or even a fourth opinion. Owners groups can be gold mines for prospective buyers, where owners unabashedly post bike problems, common issues, maintenance, and very candidly review the bikes without explicitly reviewing the bikes.
So I've posted a link to the Kove 450 Rally Owners Group in the description below so that you can check it out for yourself. So while I'm really grateful to all those who pre-ordered a Kove with my link, I also applaud those who took my initial review with a grain of salt and who continue to doubt. Because when it comes down to a $9,000 Chinese motorcycle from a heretofore unknown brand like Kove, you really do need to research very seriously. I made and will always make an honest review. However, even if it's only at the subconscious level, I am compromised because after reviewing the bike for the week, I saw its potential to change the dual sport world, and I became an affiliate for Kove because I saw something big on the horizon.
Others who have reviewed the bike for any amount of time other than a short spin through a grass field likely have inside connections with GPX so that they could ride the bike.
So even though all of these reviews have been positive, in every case, there have been some strings attached, no matter how thin. If only there was somebody out there reviewing these motorcycles with just a demigod tier resume, like maybe somebody who has podiumed Dakar, won the Baja 1000, won the Dubai Rally, won gold in the 6 Days Enduro 4 different times, raced professionally for Honda, Kawasaki, BMW, and KTM. And if only this person could concisely relay their thoughts about the bike, maybe even somebody eloquent enough to be a former editor for Dirt Rider and Cycle World magazines.
But they'd have to be seasoned enough to be out of the game so that they're not tied down by sponsorship contracts and can speak freely and honestly about the bikes they're reviewing.
Yet it actually would be helpful if they were sponsored by a competitor like Yamaha. So if anything, they would be inclined to review a competing bike like the Kove more harshly.
Well, as you can probably guess by the sarcasm in my voice, that actually is a real person. His name is Jimmy Lewis, and his channel is called Dirt Bike Test, and you need to subscribe to it right now.
Sink or swim, our lives begin. I know that's lost what we shouldn't be. More than I ever was. More than I ever was.
Now, I don't know Jimmy. I've never met him. I've never talked with him, never even typed anything to him. I doubt he knows who I am, or if he does, I think he actually might have taken a swing at me in his live stream Q&A about the Kove. But that doesn't matter to me. The man is a legend, and if Jimmy Lewis says I don't know what I'm talking about, then he's probably right. Anyway, when I watched his review of the Kove 450 Rally, I felt absolutely mortified. I mean, he knows exactly what he's talking about, and if he rips the Kove a new one, I was gonna be sunk. After watching his review, I felt absolutely vindicated. And now that the bike is here, production version, in my garage here in front of you, no better or worse than anybody else's, and even better than the demo that I reviewed back in February, I am proud that I was brave enough to tell the truth about this bike, even though I knew it was gonna get a lot of hate, and I knew that I would get slandered and ripped in the forums for promoting a Chinese motorcycle. I'm proud that I stuck my neck out there to try and help the dual sport community find a better motorcycle, to try to get some attention from other manufacturers to say, hey, stop with the bold new graphics. This is what we want.
And I think that's part of my role as a little voice in this community, and I'm proud that I can stand by my review 100%. And Jimmy's review pulls no punches.
It's just raw, gritty, 1,500 miles of first-hand Kove 450 rally experience on everything from slab to a real rally stage, spoken from the mouth of a legitimate motorcycle sage. And you know what? In his Q&A session, he answers some brutal questions such as, would you replace your KTM 500 with the Kove 450 Rally? Like I mentioned in my review, I already have. And his answers absolutely blew my mind.
Now, here is the funny thing, haters and fanboys. won't dare go watch that video because they're worried it will disrupt their Chinese bike dogma and don't want to hear anything good about the Kove from somebody who absolutely, uncontestedly knows what they're talking about.
Now, they can post nasty comments and argue with me all day because frankly, I'm a crap mechanic. I've never raced in my life, and I've only been riding off-road for 10 years. But Jimmy Lewis, he was popping corks at Baja and Dakar when most of us were snoozing in high school science class.
Arguing with Jimmy Lewis about motorcycles would be like arguing with Neil Armstrong about the moon landing. And unless some keyboard warrior has also podiumed at Dakar, Baja, Dubai, and 4 ISDE Enduros, said keyboard warrior can take great care that their posterior evades the knob while traversing the threshold.
But if you are curious about the Kove 450 Rally and really do want to do that research and get credible information to make informed decisions about one of the most anticipated motorcycles in a decade from one of the most knowledgeable riders in the world, check out the description in this video because I've gone through both of Jimmy's videos about the Kove 450 Rally, which combined have about an hour and a half of runtime. And I've chaptered them in detail so that you can easily click and find whatever questions or topics you're looking for about the Kove 450 Rally.
Now there's nothing in this for me. It just all sends views to Jimmy's channel. But if you have the time, I strongly suggest you watch the videos in their entirety.
But if you want some written commentary from me, I was able to answer some of the questions that Jimmy was unsure of about the production bike, like what kind of suspension does it have and what brakes does it have. And I was able to answer those things for certain now that I own the production version and have it right here in front of you.
So whether or not you're into the Kove, seriously, just subscribe to Dirt Bike Test. Buy their gear, buy their merch, use their links. I haven't seen that level of expertise and in-depth reviews from anybody with even close to that kind of resume anywhere on the internet. At least none with his level of brutal honesty, without a lot of sponsorship ties, and without a paywall. This is a resource that the ADV community should be clamoring to keep alive, and I was sad to not have heard about it until about a couple months ago, and it is just a travesty that YouTube hasn't given him the views that he deserves.
And it's not just Jimmy. His co-host Matt Mattoon seems really cool too. He's like an everyman rider, somebody who seems more on the level with me and most of you guys, so that you get a really good balance of a super professional, ex-gold medalist review from Jimmy, and then kind of the normal consumer views from Matt, and it's just pure gold. I mean, really, we should all be going over there and watching all of those videos because they're so informative.
So, make sure to click the links in the description to answer your specific questions about the Kove 450 Rally. If you're not doing that, then this whole video was just a total waste of time. And if you've still got questions, Jimmy and Matt actually do a really great job of responding to all their comments, which is absolutely amazing to think that you can ask a question and get an answer directly from one of the foremost experts on off-road motorcycling in the world. That is just crazy.
So check out that description down below for the links to the Kove owners groups, as well as the detailed chapter markers of Jimmy and Matt's full review and the follow-up Q&A live stream, which is just chock full of information and tough questions about this bike. This community is the greatest, and I'm so grateful to have found Jimmy and Matt's channel. It's just a goldmine of information. As always, much love, you guys. eveRide out.